Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Joe and Cody. How's it going, Cody?
Pretty good.
I feel like I need to do a
Pretty good.
different introduction, but I don't know what's a cool one. Like
You
I don't
know?
want to do too cheesy like the Real Talk with Joe and Cody. I'm Joe Skipper. I'm Cody Will.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
our loyal fans know us by now, right?
They do. They do. And they don't want to hear that.
Like,
They just want to jump right
they
into the
already know.
content.
They
Yeah.
already have our contact information and who we are. So, but yeah, it's
They
always
probably
weird to
just
like
want to
do
know
the
what's going on with your
introductions.
dog.
Yeah. Well, Margot's not here. Yeah, she did not be
Mm,
in the office, which was great.
good.
But she's not here because I constantly am like turning my head, watching where she's going. But
Yeah.
just went to the vet today. She's looking good, 27 pounds.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, she's getting
Good
big.
for her.
She's moody, man. Yeah,
Well,
she can have some days
she's
where
a
she's
she's a girl.
I know. Okay. We're getting controversial here.
Whoopsies.
May lose some of our fan following, but you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Sorry,
male
honey.
dog was just like 13 years ago was just too stupid to be upset. Like it was just an idiot. He was
Right.
just he never knew like to
Sure.
have emotions. So she's like
Well, he's a
actually
guy.
aware. Like yesterday, we joked. I can laugh about it now, but I was so pissed. She walks up like she goes to the door and she'll be like, "Hey, I gotta," and kind of pace. She'll be like, "Hey,
Hmm.
come to me, come to the door to let me know."
Yeah.
She looks at. She was grumpy last couple days, just kind of mellow, just like kind of saddish. She walks up to me, looks at me, and pees right in front of me. I was like,
Oh.
"You," like
Oh.
no, I was like, my other dog Benny never would have done that because he knew the
Just
ramifications. Like
in
she is
spite
just
of
a
you.
smack to the face to me, just
Y-
saying I can do whatever I want. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You're going
a
to clean this up and I'm going
yeah,
to get what I want.
exactly. So yeah, it's been a fun ride. But
Oh, boy.
anyways, man,
That's hilarious.
I wanted to talk just kind of your generic. I know this is a short video for us, and we'll talk about this in a podcast. I know we're going to start doing more podcasts. Just FYI,
Hmm.
everyone listening, that
Yes.
venture with Joe and Cody, we're going to start ramping up some just you and I talking kind of about general things like whether that's
Hmm.
real estate, whether that's the 2025 predictions, whether it's how we got into the industry, just kind of a more discussional stuff that we're going to do. And we'll probably talk about this in further depth in our podcast. But what do you just kind of are telling your buyers, like, hey, what's the predictions? Like buyers always ask the lenders
Hmm.
what's going to happen. So what are you
Yeah.
kind of seeing, and what are you kind of confidently telling your buyers? I know we can't be totally confident in this system and how things work, but people that are looking to you, hey Cody, we're looking to buy in spring. What are you saying to them?
Hmm. I mean, ultimately, I'm saying what we've kind of been saying a lot too. Is just, I think when the market does start to change, when we do see rates come down, we're going to see more and more people jump back into the home buying process, which is going to kind of flood the market, which is just going to make things more competitive. So if the time feels right now, then let's jump on it. And I hate to be the person that's, throws out just, well, you can just refinance later as like it's no big deal, but at the same time, I think most people could probably agree that getting a home at a lower price potentially now and having a higher, which is temporary, but at a higher interest rate now, or maybe higher than what we've been used to in years past, that they would take that and then in a year or two refinance and get it down lower
Yeah,
rather than continue to wait, get a little bit lower payment, but now you just that house that you looked at 2 years ago is now $70,000 more
yeah,
expensive and your
for sure.
price bracket has changed. So I'll still continue to say that because I I would love to know when the right time is, but I think for everyone it's so different. Like, I mean, you look at say 2009, 2010, that time. You look at home prices and it's like, oh man, that would have been the time. Or even 2012. Like that was the time you could find stuff for 200,000. You could buy a really nice house for 400,000. The reality is during that time the economy was still so bad and bruised that people were still getting over bankruptcies and foreclosures and job losses and everything. Yes, the home prices were great, and if you survived through there, heck yeah, that was a great time for you to buy. But I think for a lot of people it was they weren't eligible to, they were scared. They were trying to just save up some money because they went through a lot. So I think the same kind of rule applies through all the different markets and changes of stuff. Um, so I tell people, like, look, if this payment that we're looking at is something that you're comfortable with and you feel good about, staying in this for multiple years, because we really don't know what the rate market's going to look like, then I suggest now is the time. Because even though, like, I was just looking yesterday, at least for the Clark County area here, from December this year to last year, there was still like a 2.9% increase in median home sales. So we're seeing this, what's a pretty slow time, I think, in general for the housing market, and we're still seeing homes appreciate. So I think long term, that looking at it from the investment side, not just a home to live in, but the investment portion of it, I think waiting, if you have to, is necessary. But if you don't have to, I think it only makes sense to buy sooner than later, because even if we do see a little dip, it's not going to be down for forever. It's going to come back up, and just like we saw with COVID years and years before that. So long-winded answer, but I still will tell people, like, I think that now is the time if you can afford it and you can move forward. I do know, looking at some different projections, they are, I believe it was the Mortgage Bankers Association. They were estimating or predicting that there would be a 20% increase in mortgage applications for 2025. So that kind of tells us what their estimate is. Not that they're right all the time, but I'm sure they have a lot of data to back it up, that is assuming that more and more people are going to start getting into it. And I think we've kind of seen some of that too, just with the reality of where rates are. And waiting 6 months, a year and a half ago, didn't really pan out, and then you wait another year and we're still in the same or very similar situation. That there I think there's getting more of that reality of, like, okay, waiting isn't doing it for us. We don't want to continue to rent. The rent prices keep going
Yeah.
up, so I think it's just
Yeah.
part
And
of
it's
that.
for sure. And I think that along those notes, like you said, these people that are waiting for the rates to drop, is like, we haven't seen prices coinciding with that either. So
Mm-mm.
you last year were like, hey, well, rates are going to drop, rates are going to drop. They're not dropping. And now prices are still increasing. Like, you're having neighborhoods where you're going to get deals and homes sitting on the market. But, you know, I just looked up the data for Wilsonville, for particularly year over year, single family homes appreciated 16% last year, from last December
Wow.
of last year. So you're having a significant increase in the price of the homes in general areas. So this whole waiting game, and I think I personally think people think that we're like doing a sales pitch, like now is the right time to buy.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's honestly not. If we had, I trust you, and if I saw something that was like, dude, it's 90% chance we're gonna have 5% rates in August, I'd say wait. Like,
Absolutely.
there is
Yes.
just no one predicting that, and if they are predicting that, they're
Huh.
wrong. Like, and they may
Hmm.
be right accidentally, but there is
Right.
no one that's saying that the rates are going to do that. Most experts are saying the rates will hover where they're at, maybe the mid sixes, maybe,
Hmm.
like, um, in an amazing world to be six, but it's just like no one has a gauge.
Right.
So, it's not a sales pitch. It's like, if you can afford it now, if you can't afford it, no big deal. Like, don't afford it.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting waiting for some magic to happen, it's not going to happen,
Hmm.
because buyers, like you said, are coming to grips. Like, on the real estate side of things, what I'm telling them is pretty much the same thing. Is like, for sellers, if you're looking to sell in the spring, start trying now. Like, start planning now, because I think being on the front
Hmm.
end of that spring market, when buyers do, like, those 20% increase in mortgage applications, when buyers do start coming in, you're one of many, versus like you get in February, Marchish, you're one of a
Hmm.
few, and you still have the buyers out there, because buyers are coming to grips with the rates. So what I'm seeing is buyers already starting to come into the market. Houses are already starting to start coming on this January, just this last week.
Mm.
So I tell buyers, like, if you're ready, if you can afford X price at X rate, um, start looking. And for sellers, if you are thinking of, oh, I'm gonna wait for spring, it's like, it may be a good idea. Like, your house obviously looks better, the timing is better, but you may have more competition, you may have more, but you're also one of many homes, especially if you have a home that doesn't stand out or doesn't or has
Hmm.
some issues. You may want to be the one that's on the front end of that versus the one that's like comparing to every home around and they're seeing the flaws in yours, like if
Yeah.
that makes any sense. So,
Well, no, that's a good point too, because it's kind of taking advantage of the timing of it. Because yeah, naturally everybody's thinking, okay, I'm gonna get the house ready in the spring, and we're gonna
mhm,
sell it in the summer. Because I think most people know that summertime, spring, summertime, that's like the home buying
yeah,
time. Like
yep,
whether you have gone through it or you just have heard it from someone, like that's just to me seems like the everybody assumes and knows that it's busier that
for
time.
sure.
So to kind of capitalize on a better timing of it, to where you are one of maybe just a few homes in that bracket as opposed to one of 15. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just that's the same prediction is like get in when you can get in. It's like if you're waiting for rates to drop this year, it's not going to happen. Just assume it's not going to
Hmm.
happen. And I hate the
Absolutely.
term. You might like the term, but I hate the date the rate, marry the home. Like
Oh,
I hate saying it, but
yes.
because I don't I think I think it comes off as salesy for one. I think it
Hmm.
isn't accurate for two because it gives people a thought that like date the rate meaning you will get a better rate down the road. You could,
Yeah.
but you may not.
Sure.
And so I hate saying date the rate, marry the home because it's like it gives
Uh-huh.
people a false sense of security that uh that they're going to get a
Yes.
lower rate than what it is now. So don't worry about the rate now. If you can't afford this payment or you're struggling to afford this payment, just wait till next year and you can refinance. Um, Having said that, if you can comfortably afford the rate now, there is hope that, rates do go down and then you can refinance. So I think it's overused and under talked about, I
Yes.
guess, if that
I,
makes
I
sense.
didn't, yes, I didn't like it when it first came out either,
Yeah,
because it seemed like a sales pitch, like, hey, this is
yeah,
just a little blip on the radar.
for sure.
Which I think a lot of us did think that that was going to be the case. It was like, okay, they're going to go up for a year and then they'll work their way back down. We're sitting at, we're year three into rates going up. It was this time 2022, I guess it was, where they really started to go up in the beginning of the year. So we're we've been here for a while. I think the phrase "it got old after a little while,"
Yeah,
especially after the rates just were not getting any better. If
I
if
know.
anything, they were getting worse. So
And real estate agents are notorious for like stealing all that stuff and having this posted on Instagram. I'm like, ugh. I think I might have
right.
posted it on at one point. I thought it was cool, and so I
Well, like
apologize to anyone that saw it. But
no, but I think that there is, like you're talking about, the message of it. I do think um is not bad, in the sense that if this home is the one and you can afford the payment, it is going to be temporary, right? Like temporary doesn't mean 6 months. Temporary might mean 3 or 4
5 years,
years.
yeah, yeah,
But there is a point where something has to give. Either the wages have to come up more, the interest rates have to come down, home price, like something has to change, because I think everybody feels that this just can't. It's not sustainable, whether you're renting or buying. It's just not a
for
it's
sure.
not a sustainable way for people to have a good, healthy balance of their finances, when it's like, you know, more than 50% of their income gets them the house that they just can barely afford. So,
I know, it's crazy. Well,
but
we'll talk about it more on the podcast. We'll get into more detail
yeah.
on what 2025 is bringing. To the
Hmm.
market. Cody and I can blab forever, and this is not meant to be a blab
Yes.
sesh. So we'll close. But what do you got for any social media stuff? Any cool videos you got coming out? Anything you were going to be talking with your many fans about
Yes.
this week or in the coming weeks?
Yes. So I'm kind of trying to explore a little bit more of long form videos, right? I've been trying to just do short educational ones, which I'm hoping are helpful. But there are some topics where it's just, I feel like you're just kind of barely scraping the surface, and so I'm going to try recording some longer videos. Like I'm working on one right now for temporary rate buy down, and just explaining how that works, and the savings that you can get, kind of to talk about what we've just been talking about. So it's like, okay, when rates are higher and home prices are not coming down, what's a different way that you can take advantage of it? So I know a lot of us in the industry know about it, but I'm not sure how many people that are not looking at buying a home, or maybe are just getting interested,
Hmm.
even know that that's an option or what it looks like. So trying to kind of take a little more time and go a little bit deeper. I know it's kind of hard not a lot of people want to watch a 5 minute video or 10 minute video because it's just
It's long.
lives
Yeah.
move quick. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. So yeah, I should have something coming out here probably later this week. So we'll see.
And that's
But
on
what
like
about
a
you?
buy down type of thing.
Yeah, temporary buy
Cool.
down. So just explaining how that all works.
Cool. I love it. There's
Yeah.
always going to be someone
You?
out there that needs that info.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a crazy one. So it's, we don't plan, anyone who's watching this, we don't plan these things that much, like our live streams. We just do them.
It's pretty sad.
But I didn't mean it that way, Cody. I was meaning it more
I
of
mean,
like
it's not
the
sad at all.
video that I'm recording, like for next week for more Instagrams type stuff, was more of that sort of my rate's 3%. Why would I
Okay.
ever move? So it's funny that I'm like doing a video for that. But I have a crazy one. I almost lost $30,000 in a deal.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's going to be on my YouTube in the next, I think it might be in the next few days. So if you haven't, head over to my
That's
YouTube page and subscribe and like that, because it stresses me out just talking about it. But
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if I saw that, I'd be clicking that video.
Yeah, so for sure. But it's a good learning process for agents. It's a good learning process. I like to do my YouTube page for agents. I do them for buyers and sellers, but my YouTube's also catered to agents to kind of help them navigate, the mistakes I made and avoid them.
That's
So
that's great.
that one was almost
Yeah.
30K, and in most environments that's a lot of money. Like maybe if I was in
Yes.
California or something, that's not a big commission, but to
Right?
me it is.
Yes.
So yeah.
I think
So
that's pretty
that's
big
one of
for
my bigger videos that I got coming out in the next few days. I think. What day is it? I don't even know. Wednesday. So it'll be coming out in the
today.
next few
Yeah.
days.
Wednesday the 15th,
And
halfway
then we've
through
got
the month.
Venture with Joe and Cody. We're going to do a lot more podcasts together. Just it's great having guests on, but I think it's at least you and I like talking to each other and like talking about random
Right.
stuff and going off on random tangents. And a podcast allows us to do it. Hopefully people enjoy it and get
Yes.
something out of it. But yeah, we're going to start ramping it up there. But yeah, head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anything like that. We've got Venture with Joe and Cody there. You can hear our lovely voices online. Or see us on
They
YouTube.
are lovely.
On our YouTube pages.
I think we're gonna.
Is it on your YouTube page? Or have you blocked me from YouTube? It's on my YouTube page. But you're so popular and so busy, you don't even know your YouTube page just goes off and does its own thing. So
well, I wouldn't quite say that, but sure. I think I have to post things on there first and for it to go anywhere.
Well, we could start with our
Baby
venture with
steps.
Joe and Cody. But
Yes.
okay, man. Well, it was good talking to you. And until
Hey, you
next
too.
week, yeah, we'll have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, see you, man.
See ya.